Recently, I and many others saw this tweet by Twists, but while he doesn't say it directly, he's implicating that CS2 is plagued by a problem that didn't exist in CSGO. I decided to do some tests for myself to see if what he's saying is true or not. I want to ask the viewer a question before I begin this video that I want you to think about for a while. What level of accident are you okay with happening against you? May I remind you that one of the most memorable and famous clips of all time in CSGO was a complete accident? Firstly, I need to explain some things about how we know the exact way that spray running inaccuracy works, since CSGO's source code was leaked a few years ago. It's really not that complicated of a solution, but you have to understand how computers add randomness when they're really just logical operators with no luck involved at all. And now for a message from the sponsor of today's video. Skin Club is the best adult case opening site on the internet. Skin Club lets you open cases for real cash with my promo code in the description. Aren't happy with what you got out of a case? Skin Club lets you write it along into an upgrader so you can get your value back with just a little bit of luck. You can deposit easily with all the methods that you see on screen with easy withdrawals. You can also battle against other players or split the difference so that everybody wins. Head on over to Skin Club with my link in the video description for a deposit bonus. Thank you to Skin Club for sponsoring today's video. If you know anything about Bitcoin, you've probably heard of SHA-256, and I promise that this is relevant to the video. In SHA-256, a series of many dozens of iterations are done on the source material to encrypt it, with the only way to decrypt it to be to use the private cryptographic key to decode the message. What is essentially a random string of characters can always be reverse engineered if the key is able to turn the lock. This is why there can never be any true randomness in a classical sense with non-quantum computers, as every CPU is really just a bunch of carefully crafted switches that are combined to do trillions of addition and multiplication calculations every second. This means that with the accuracy algorithm leaked from CSGO, we can analyze the source code to understand how the function works, and this will be relevant to CS2 as you'll see later in the video. I'm not a genius coder. I'm just good at talking into a microphone with information that I research myself. So if I get something wrong, please let me know down in the comments. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys though, it doesn't even matter the specifics of what I mention here, and you'll see why later. Basically, there are two things to worry about: the base spread when someone's standing still, and the spread added when someone is moving. The game calculates both using a value called iSeed, which is sent to all of the clients in the server at the same time, so that you get a fair outcome between all people during every tick. Imagine if one person somehow got insane lucky seeds for running accuracy and you didn't, and they could just running kill you over and over again. But since the seed changes every tick, this is already very unlikely. So what your game does is a really simple calculation using the weapon's base stats on standing inaccuracy to give a slight offset, which is why sometimes you see clips of Silvers crying on Reddit about how their full accurate shot somehow didn't land, even though they're right on the edge of someone's hitbox and are actually getting unlucky, or some kind of lag spike hits their game, or they have constant 150 ping, or any other multitude of more impactful issues with their situation and not because of the game itself. Then the game generates a random float value to decide the new angle of your shot based on the running speed that you're currently at. If you watch this video by Refrag, the guy who made it, and I'm sorry I don't know whose voice is speaking there, shows that inaccuracy doesn't actually start until your move speed is slightly above a different value for all guns. And the inaccuracy follows a sigmoidal-like relationship, but if I'm going to be honest and be a little bit more accurate, it looks like the value stays at 0, and then an offset negative exponential decay function is applied with a certain value and constants for each gun. This is why you can slightly unpeak an angle and one-tap people pretty consistently, even though you were moving, because how much you were moving really matters a lot when we put it under the microscope. Basically, the spread size that you're seeing is a visual representation of how extreme the game will make your recoil expand by, which is pretty obvious. What CS2 doesn't show you for some reason, but you could show it in CSGO, Valve please fix, is that the weapon inaccuracy is not a square, but a circle. And I'll show you why this is true in a moment. So since Twist posted this video, I created an auto hotkey script to running spray a wall 1,000 times in both CSGO and CS2 in the exact same way. I timed it so that it runs backwards, holds down mouse 1 while running to the right, and then runs back and takes a screenshot. I created a Python script to handle every blue square that you see on the wall and make it into a transparent PNG to overlay into Photoshop. These blue dots show where the server sees your bullet landing, so we can compare CSGO and CS2 together to see if they're any different. And guess what happens if I overlay all of them together and adjust for the different surface color? Yeah, these are exactly the same between both games. You know, this didn't really shock me. As someone who works professionally as an engineer, I know firsthand that if you can copy something between projects and they apply in the same manner, Why would you reinvent the wheel? Valve is clearly using the exact same method for CS2 that they did in CSGO. Okay, I'm gonna be completely straight up with you guys. I think that this video that Twist posted is kind of disingenuous, and it's a really bad way of giving feedback to Valve. And I actually know firsthand how to give real feedback to Valve without having a direct line of communication, because someone on the Valve Twitter account actually liked my tweet after the bullet decal update came out, which means that somebody at Valve acknowledged my suggestions and implemented them into the game. So thank you for that. First things first, his ping and game versions are not shown, as well as his network misdelivery graphs. Next thing, it's a Twitter video, meaning that the quality is complete shit, since Twitter videos are meant to be watched on your phone for brain rot. Also, the video is sped up by a weird margin, so it's much harder for anyone to analyze. And I don't mean to harp on these tweets too much, but his quote retweet from a few days later doesn't make any sense to me either. I don't know if Twist realized this or not, but he's completely missing the point that he's trying to make. One of the biggest and most common tracking aim problems that people have in any game is trailing enemies when you don't mean to. And CSGO did not somehow magically solve this problem for you, and CS2 is no different.
Now I want to get into common issues people struggle with in coaching sessions. The first of these issues is trailing, which just means staying behind the bot while moving at the same speed as it for an extended period of time.
But I'm gonna go ahead and analyze this video anyways. And I'm not gonna do the shots 1 to 5 type meme, I'm actually gonna look at what's happening here. First kill, it's a pure accident first bullet. Second kill, he's at close range, it takes 7 bullets to kill, and when it takes 4 body shots to kill an enemy, he's hitting 57% of his bullets at this close range distance. He also counter strafes, meaning that his accuracy is actually reset for almost half of these bullets. The enemy hits 1 bullet on him, and it could have been a headshot and he could have died. 3, he gets a headshot after 7 bullets with peeker's advantage since he's further away from the angle of the fight. The enemy looks like he's actually shooting at somebody top stairs, not expecting him to swing like this in a deathmatch, because most people play with sound off and they don't expect people to run around like this. The 4th kill is a full running Glock kill, and the Glock's inaccuracy at full speed looks like this, so it's not actually that far out of the question that this kill is normal. 5, another full running Glock kill. He gets hit before he kills the enemy, meaning he could have died to a headshot. 6, another full running Glock kill. This one doesn't have his gun out, and he has to do a beyond 180 flick to react to hit twists, so it's an easy kill. 7, it's another pretty close range fight. He hits 1 of 3 bullets to the head, and the other player doesn't react because he's looking at bench, and he's probably not looking at get right. 8, very close range kill. The other player has to do a 180 to react to him. It takes Twist 14 shots to hit 1 headshot, where he actually somehow does exactly what he says he's blaming the game for, which is trailing behind the enemy model who's moving at a constant velocity across his screen. 9, it's a full running Glock kill. 10, another running Glock kill. It takes him 15 bullets to kill while he's playing around this weird pillar, and he's much further away from the angle that they're fighting around, meaning that he's partially obscured to the enemy while he can still see him in kitchen at the ends of his strafes. 11, another close range Glock fight. He gets hit twice, meaning he had 2 chances to lose the fight by getting headshot. 12, a full running Glock kill at medium distance. 13, he shoots 7 Glock bullets. He gets hit once, meaning he could have died. This next fight, he whiffs 19 bullets while running and doesn't get a kill, and he gets hit twice. Then he whiffs on the ramp guy, and then accidents the guy under Palace. 15, he shoots 16 bullets and lands 1 headshot. 16, a super close range 1 bullet on somebody who's not looking at him. 17, shoots 8 bullets, only lands 1 headshot. He gets hit once, meaning he could have died before he got the kill. 18, 3 bullets into someone who wasn't looking as wide as he was. 19, another accident 1 bullet, but the other player still shoots once, meaning again he could have lost this fight. 20, he shoots 5 shots, 4 connect to the body. This kill was extremely lucky. 21, he shoots 7 bullets, can't tell from the video, but it only looks like 1 connected in the head. 22, 17 bullets on somebody with their knife out. 23, a complete accident. He gets shot by what looks like a whiff deagle shot. He gets shot again, and then gets an insane accident kill into apps. 25, kills someone who's not looking at him, then regains health because of the third-party DM lobby rules, and the other player stops shooting thinking that he killed Twists with 4 shots to the body, so he gets whiffed on twice and then proceeds to accident him. Now I want you to think, in most of these clips, Twist had the chance to die where he got kills due to the enemy not being able to hit him in the head fast enough. Because what he's doing is going to the absolute extreme of trying to make himself as hard to hit as possible. This video also has many cuts in it, meaning that they're cherry-picked kills in a third-party deathmatch server. This is important to think about because people are not playing normally in this server compared to how people would play in a 5v5 game. Next time you play a pug, try this running and shooting method and see for yourself how hard it is to get a single kill. Go ahead and try it with even shotguns or SMGs. If you play like this, you're gonna get killed by anyone who has hands. since this style of peeking basically always gets you killed when people are ready for you, because you give up so much information. Most of the clips that Twist is showing are people either not being ready for him, people who are whiffing badly, or people who are just slightly missing his head due to the lack of their skill. Now I will say, if these clips came from FPL lobbies, we have a much bigger problem on our hands. But I really can't justify telling you that there's a problem with running accuracy in Counter-Strike 2 compared to CSGO. It's the exact same thing. Personally, I know myself, people who play like this in deathmatch were a thing in CSGO, and it's just incredibly annoying because you're trying to, warm up against people who are moving normally, and when people are moving like this, it's like, come on, really, man? Like, what the fuck is the point? Why are you even in here? You're not getting any better. I know so many people who have experienced this same thing, just really annoying players who you can't move like this in a normal game. And I'm sorry to repeat myself, but this really is not how you give feedback to Valve on their game if you want it to improve. My best advice is to take my route and make a comprehensive video explaining concepts. I work 8 hours a day as an engineer, and I still have time to make these videos. And please don't send any hate after watching this video. I'm using it as an example because so many people like this tweet seemingly in agreement with this quote-unquote problem. I'm gonna play you a video now of Donk getting insane entries in CS2's early days. I want you to watch this at full speed and tell me if you think he's running and shooting. Kind of looks that way, right? Let's slow the video down. Oh, wait, he's actually just counter-strafing on every shot. These clips happen all the time in CSGO, and it's due to online lag. Did we forget that there's a name for this kind of peak? It's called a Zentaris peak, which is only possible since he was playing on super high ping to FPL EU lobbies from Turkey, similar to how Donk used to play on 140 milliseconds from Russia to EU. If this was on LAN, you would watch his POV and see how Donk has perfect crosshair placement, incredibly fast counter strafes, and insane game knowledge to keep moving as fast as possible to get the next entry. If you're outside of a silver lobby, I guarantee you that you have at least one clip where you look like this to the enemy. Thank you for watching, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Peace.